Welcome to the Krikey AI video editor. This is going to be a full walkthrough of the entire video editor and all the AI animation tools so you can get started on your project. So the first thing that you're going to see when you enter the Krikey AI video editor is this screen, and it has a text box where you can type in a prompt and generate an animated video from a text prompt. So that's AI text to animation. You can also select your character, which I like to do before I actually start making a video. I like to select a character. There's lots of character choices in here. You can scroll down and see we have vegetables and fruits and cute cartoon animals. We have a few sample human characters, and you will soon be able to make your own character as well. You can also just select surprise me if you don't really care what kind of character you want the video to have in it, and go ahead and get started. We also have down at the bottom here different prompts, so you can try any of these prompts, and if you click the prompt, it'll automatically appear in the text box above. So you have the option of choosing any of these. You can also write your own prompt. So in my case here, for this example, I'm going to write thank you video for my first grade teacher, Miss Annie. And now once I have my text prompt, I can click create and start making my video. So I'll go ahead and do that. And while it's generating, I'll talk a little bit about the text prompt. So you can type in anything. I recommend that you keep it really short, very general, and let the AI tool determine the initial video template and script. You can edit everything once the video is generated, and we'll do that here today as well. So we have our video template here that's been generated. We'll play it back to hear what it sounds like.
Ms. Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey. I am grateful for the wonderful start you've given me. With heartfelt thanks, your name, dear Ms. Annie.
That's perfect. And I like the content of the video. I like generally the script. I'm excited to get in and edit. And so now when I want to edit the video, there are a few things I want to edit. So certainly the background, I want to change that. I want the cat to be smiling. I want to change a few of the words in the script. And so there's a few ways we can do this. The first is we're going to start in smart mode, which has this chat agent on the left. And on the top right, you can see that we have two choices. We have the smart mode choice, or we have the manual mode choice. So we'll start in smart mode, and let's start with the facial expression. So I want my cat to be smiling throughout the entire video. So I'm going to select the happy facial expression. I can scroll through and look at all the other options, but I really think I want my cat to be happy. So I'm going to click that. Now let's say I want to change my script. And I also think I might want to change the voice as well. So I'm going to say, dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. With heartfelt thanks. And let's pick a name here. We'll say this child's name is Mirabelle. Maybe I don't know if the AI is going to get that. So I might even make it phonetic sounding. I might say Mirabelle. So that way it's pronounced correctly. Now I want to choose a voice, and I can listen to these voices. So let's listen to this voice.
Hello, this is my voice.
That sounds a little serious. So maybe I'll say I want female, warm tone. I can generate some custom voices.
Hello, my voice can be used with many languages. Want to try?
Hello, my voice can be used with many languages. Want to try?
So every time you can try different languages, you can try different voices, you can click on them to hear what they sound like. And once you're ready, you click the save and generate button. And what this does is it saves your script that you've just edited and the voice that you've just chosen, and it'll generate a new audio track for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and that's generating now. On the bottom here in the text box, you can see there's lots of things you can edit directly within the chat agent here. Now I'm actually going to switch us over to manual mode just to show you what this looks like as well. Now let's play this back because I've changed the facial expression. You can see he's smiling now. I've changed the script. I've changed the voice. So let's see what it sounds like.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey.
Okay, so that's enough for me to get an idea of what this sounds like, and I do like this voice a little better. It sounds friendlier to me, I enjoy it, and I hope this first grade teacher will as well. Now, what do I want to change next? I want to change my background. So to change a background, I have now come over to manual mode, top right. I'm looking now at my timeline editor, which has all of these tracks, and each track is a layer of the video that we're watching. So the first layer, of course, is animation. This is the body motion of the character. So for animation, as I scroll through here, I can see when this character is waving, when they're explaining something here, when they're showing their arms forward. All these motions are animation, and so that's what's sitting on the top track. Backgrounds is pretty self-explanatory. Here I've got this background, and if I scroll down here, there's another background. So in this video, I have two different backgrounds. I have several different camera angles, so you can see this first camera angle is a wide shot, so I can see the full body of the character. And down towards the end, I have a mid shot, so this is a waist-up view of the character. And I can actually change my camera angles at a granular level as well, which we'll get to in a minute. We've got lighting, so I've got 3-point lighting, which is pretty standard. I can change that too. We talked about facial expressions. I've got my dialogue, which we just edited with the script and the voice. And then the right hand and the left hand. In this case, because my cat has paws and no fingers, I can't really do anything with hand gestures in this video, but those are options as well. If I wanted the character to point at something or give a thumbs up, I can edit the hand gestures as well. But let's start now with background. So let's say I want to edit this background. So I would click replace, and it'll automatically open on the left side all the background choices. So I could upload an image to become the background of this video. I can AI generate an image. I can choose a 3D environment. There's some presets in here. And then there's all these stock photos I could choose from as well. So let's take, for example, let's say I want to take a stock photo. So I could just come in here and click on this, and immediately the photo is in the background. Let's say I choose this one, and immediately the photo is in the background. Now let's say I want to come to the 3D environment, and I want to choose one of these environments to be the background. So I've chosen college classroom. Now here are the characters in front of the classroom. Because this is a 3D environment, and that's what I've selected, I can actually rotate the classroom behind the character. So maybe I want the character to stand in front of the desks, so I can do that. I can also resize the classroom behind the character. So the character appears really large in the context of the classroom, or really small. And so these are a couple of very quick, easy ways to change your background. Now let's say I wanted an AI generated background. I could type in here, for example, 3D cartoon, and I like to say empty classroom, so there's nobody in there. And let's see if I can generate an empty classroom in a 3D cartoon style. Now what's being generated is an image. It's a 2D image, not a 3D environment. And the difference is with a 3D environment, I can rotate all the way around the environment. A 2D image is a 2D static image. So here's our generated image. And this is actually really cute. And I like the colors, I like the brightness, I like the sunlight coming in. So I'm actually going to want to move my character. So it looks like he's standing on the desk. So I'm going to move my character up, and now it's standing on the desk. Let's say I want to rotate my character a little bit to the left, or maybe I want it all the way around. Because the character is also a 3D model, I can turn it all the way around using the rotation slider here on the right. I can move my character forward towards the camera or back, so maybe I want him on the desk further from the camera. I can also move the character left or right, And what you can see here with these slider bars is we're actually able to move this 3D character in 3D space as if it's in this room. Even though the image in the background is 2D, it still gives us that effect of a 3D environment. There are also 3D environments in the backgrounds tab, which is here, and those environments you can actually rotate and move around in. But in this case, I really wanted this AI generated classroom, and so I've chosen to use an image in the background. Now let's say I want to change this background. So I would come over to the second background. I've moved my cursor down here on the timeline. I've moved it here from left to right, and now I'm on top of this other background. I need to select that background, make sure I'm in replace mode, which I can see here on the right, and I can also see that I am in replace mode on the top of the screen. And now I can come over and let's say I do want to choose a 3D environment. And I really like this rainbow. It's bright, it's colorful, I like looking at it. So I'm going to rotate this a little bit, and let's see if I can get that heart. Maybe if I go all the way around, I could get that heart right next to the character's face. Maybe I want it right here. So the character is right next to that beautiful rainbow heart. So now I'm happy with my backgrounds. I have this background, and I have this background. So now I'm going to click out, and let's play back what we have so far.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey. I am grateful for the wonderful start you've given me. With heartfelt thanks, Mirabelle. Dear Miss Annie.
That's great. So now let's say I want to change some of these animations. So let's imagine that maybe I want to change, well, I like the great job in the beginning. They're all really cute, so I don't know that I want to change any of them, but for the purposes of the demo, let's assume I want to change this first animation. So to see the animation, I can quickly scrub through, I can see what the cat's doing here, and then I want to select that animation, and then I come over here on the right side, it says replace. So I'm going to click replace, and what this means is I have selected this animation, clicked replace, and now I'm going to replace it with a different animation. So let's see if we maybe want to pick something, because the character's talking, it's kind of it's not an explainer video, but it is explaining its gratitude. So maybe I want to choose one of these animations here. On the left side, I can see a preview of what the animation will look like. And I can see what the hands are doing, if the character's shifting its weight from one leg to another, what's the motion that's going to be applied to my cat. So I'm going to choose, I think I'm going to choose this round gesture and just see what this looks like. So I'm going to bring my cursor back to the beginning of my timeline and hit play.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly...
Okay, so that first one looks pretty nice. Now this second one is maybe a little too much. So I'm going to click on Hello Friend, which is the second animation here. I'm going to click replace, and I'm going to come back over to my animation menu. Now in my menu, I have these animation packs, and we have collectively created these packs to thematically group the animations. So we can say all of these in the Magic Spells pack are going to be maybe more for fantasy. We have actually some sign language animations. We have baseball, we have tango, K-pop, Bollywood dance, lots of different styles. So let's maybe go and take a look through page 2. Ooh, it looks interesting for us to have as the second animation in our series. Maybe we can pick something from student, because this is a student that's talking to their teacher. And let's see, I think this one's kind of cute. This is very simple, but let's take a look at what it looks like. So now I'm going to bring my cursor back. I've just replaced the second animation, and I want to play it back to see what it looks like.
Incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey. I am grateful for the wonderful start you've given me.
Okay, perfect. So now I like that second animation. I think it looks good. What I want to change next is my camera angle. I don't like where the camera is cutting off the character here, so I want to change that. So if I scroll down on my timeline here, I can see I've got 4 different camera angles. I'm on this one, which is mid shot, so I'm going to click that, and I get these slider bars on the right. So I'm actually going to zoom in my camera just a little bit, and maybe I want to slide my camera up so the character's a little more centered, a little more waist up, and now I can play this back and see what this camera transition looks like.
Encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey.
So that camera transition is really nice. Now if I want to be really picky, if you notice when I play this back, the camera transitions at a different time than the animation and at a different time than the background. So it's a little disjointed in the way that it's laid out right now.
Encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey.
So I want to align all of these things. So I actually come in here, I'm going to click on my background and drag it so that it aligns here. I'm going to drag this so that it all aligns. And I'm going to see, when I open up my timeline, you can see these diagonal lines. That is indicating a transition from one animation to the next, from one camera angle to the next. We don't transition backgrounds because they don't look good transitions, so we go straight from one background to another. Now, let me collapse my timeline and play this back to see if I've got everything in alignment.
Patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey. I am grateful for the wonderful start you've given me.
Now, I enjoy that too, except I saw a little blip here, so I'm going to click on this animation, shorten it a little bit, and move this over so that it is overlapping for a little bit of a better transition. And maybe I want to change this last animation. Let's see. If I move this animation to the end, I can move this one a little up. So I can also move animations around, which is really nice. So you can change the order of the animations in which they appear just by dragging.
Influenced my learning journey. I am grateful for the wonderful start you've given me. With heartfelt thanks.
Perfect. So now I see I actually have this extra mid shot at the end, and it has moved my camera back out. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on the trash can to delete it. I'm going to extend my camera out because when I don't have a camera, it goes into bird's eye view. So right now what we're looking at is the top of the cat because there's no camera. So when I drag my mid shot camera out to the very end, I can now see the camera angle that I had previously set. So now I'll go back to the beginning and play this through.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey. I am grateful for the wonderful start you've given me. With heartfelt thanks, Mirabelle.
Great, so now let's take a look at all the things on this video editor. So on the left side, we can see that there's a button for tutorials. So you can click in here to watch any tutorial. You can edit your script. So I can come back in here, I can change my script, I can change my voice and generate the audio track again. I can change my animation. So we've spent some time in here looking through the animation packs, learning how to replace animations. I can also change my character in a single click. So let's say I actually want to change my character to this human character. So I can do that. And in the Krikey AI video editor, all of our 3D models are automatically rigged for full body animation, facial animation, and lip sync. So we can play this back instantly.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey.
So let's say I want to try something else. Maybe I want a dragon. So I'm going to click on the dragon, and let's come back over here and watch this dragon.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher.
And maybe I actually want an anime character. So I'm going to click on that and come back.
Dear Miss Annie, thank you for your incredible dedication and kindness as my first grade teacher. Your patience and encouragement have greatly influenced my learning journey.
So that looks good too. And what you can do is click through any of these characters. You can create your own character and it'll automatically work with the animated video that you're creating. Continuing down the list on the left side, we have backgrounds, which we've talked about. There are 3D environments, there are 2D images, and you can choose either one to put behind your character. You can use the slider bars to make the background larger or smaller, and with 3D environment backgrounds, you can actually rotate them fully around the character. My projects shows you all of your previously created projects, so if you want to switch to something else, you can. Present allows you to add a presentation screen behind your character. So this is great if you're doing lesson plans or book reports or presentations for work. So here I've added this screen with an image behind my character, and I'm just going to change the image so we can see it a little more clearly. So now let's say I want to edit this presentation screen. So I'm going to expand my timeline, and I'm going to find it here. And I can see there's a line now that says present, and this presentation background is titled thank you. So I'm going to click on that. And now I can see I have a bunch of choices for my presentation screen. So let's say I actually want to make this a mobile phone. I can do that. I can move my mobile phone to the left. Oops, that's the image. I'm going to move my mobile phone up and down here. And here we go. I can move it to the left. And I can actually rotate this mobile phone to look like it's lying down, standing up. I can turn it left or right to face the character. So this phone exists in 3D space right alongside our 3D character. And what's really neat about this is if you wanted to, for example, put in your mobile phone demo, you could do that. You could have a laptop with a sign-in or explainer video content, HR onboarding content on the screen. And you can actually move this laptop up and down so it looks like it's sitting on a desk or it looks like the character is on the laptop. So this is a really nice prop that is right next to your character. And this is called the projector or the present screen, and that's where it is on the left side of your screen here. Now let's say I want to get rid of my present screen. I can come back in here, I can click the present screen and then click the trash icon to delete it. So now I've removed all the presentation screens in my video. Now audio allows you to record your own voice. You can upload MP3 audio if you have recorded separately or have a voice actor that you want to include in your project. Facial expressions changes the facial expression of the character if you want to show different emotions throughout the course of your video. Hand gestures will change a hand gesture on the right hand or the left hand, and very similar to facial expressions, very similar to animations, down here on the timeline you can see the order in which facial expressions appear or the order in which hand gestures appear on the right or the left hand. In this case I just have one for each because I like to keep it simple, but you can go as complicated as you like and can control the right hand and the left hand distinctly. We also have a few visual effects. So for example, if you had a tutorial you were showing to your customers, you could have this button click animation. We also have balloons. So if you're celebrating a birthday card, you can add some balloons. We've got hearts. So if you're making a Valentine's card for somebody, you can add some hearts. We have an anime style poof effect, punch effect here. So if you're doing an action sequence, you can do that. We've got this to-do list. There's lots of different choices, and you can make these larger or smaller just by clicking and then making the asset smaller or larger. If you want to delete it, you come down to your timeline. You can click on the asset or the item on the timeline and then click delete. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all of our little visual effects here. And then I'm going to come back to the left side and let's take a look at filters. So this works just like normal filters do on photos. You can add a black and white filter, you can add a sepia, you can add a high saturation, anything if you want to change the entire look of the frame of your video. Now, one of the coolest features, which I'm really excited about, is music, and we just added it this week, and you can actually generate your own AI music. So let's say I want to take out my entire dialogue track and I want to turn this into a music video. So let's say I want to do a K-pop thank you card for Miss Annie, my first grade teacher. And I want this to be, let's make it 15 seconds. I'm going to toggle add singing vocals on. And you know what, maybe I don't want K-pop, maybe I want it to be a country song. So let's try that, and then I'm going to generate custom music. And while that's generating, we are going to prepare our video or start thinking about what we want to do to prepare our video for this music edition. So when we add a music track with vocals, that means we can't also have dialogue. So we'll probably have to delete that dialogue track in order to accommodate the vocals. So I'm going to come back over to my timeline. I've opened it up, scroll to the left so I can see the name of every single track, and I can see here that I've got dialogue and then my song vocals. So I'm actually going to come over here, I'm going to delete my dialogue, and I'm going to drag my vocals right over my music. And now we'll come back to the beginning, collapse my timeline, and let's play back the song that we've just generated.
Dear Miss Annie, you helped me learn to read.
So let's say, before I even finish watching the video, this is a male voice. So I want to change my character, and let's pick a different character here. Maybe let's take this guy, Aiden. All right, let's watch this back.
Dear Miss Annie, you helped me learn to read and write. You made my whole world feel so bright. Thank you for everything.
Now that is really sweet and very cool. Let's say I want it to be a duck that sings this. So I'm going to come back over here and make it a duck.
Dear Miss Annie, you helped me learn to read and write. You made my whole world feel so bright. Thank you for everything.
And that's a really sweet thank you card to send to a teacher. So this is a quick, simple way to learn how to edit your script if you want straight dialogue or to turn what you are creating into a music video using our new music generator tool. A few more things that I want to point out. On the top here, we can see there's a resize button. And if I click this, I can actually resize my video for different aspect ratios. So for example, for Instagram stories, that's vertical, or if it's a post, it's a square. So let's say if I wanted to resize this for stories, I would click story and then click resize video. Now I can also see here there are other platforms. So maybe I want it to be a YouTube video or I want to get a YouTube thumbnail out of the video I've created. I can do all of that right here. So I'll click on Instagram story. I'm going to click resize video. And let's see, it gives me these bars on the side. You can see it's very light, but you can see there are these bars that show me the vertical frame. So now as I scrub through, I can see if my duck's wings are in frame, and if they're not, then I can move my character. For example, here I can see it's slightly cut off, so I can move my character slightly to the right to make sure that it's fully in frame before I export. And so that's what the resize feature does for us. Now translate, here you can actually choose a different language, and you can preview the voice that's available. And then you can quick translate in a single click. You can translate your whole video into another language. We have lots of different languages, and we've just added several with a new Voice AI plugin that we've got as well. But there's lots of choices for you to explore and decide what language you want your characters to speak in, and you can preview the different voice styles as well before selecting one. And all you do is select a language, select a voice, and then click Quick Translate in order to translate your whole video. The next button up on the top is called Capture, and this allows you to capture high-resolution images of your character in different character poses. And this is really, really helpful if you are creating a presentation or posters or marketing materials for your brand mascot or for even just a single project, and you need to move your character around so you can get photos in different angles and in different poses. And what you can do now is you can actually pose your character using the slider bars, using different animations, and then you can click the Capture button, and it will download a high-resolution image of the character in that pose. We also have a toggle button, so you can get a transparent background, and this deletes the background behind the character. So if you wanted to place this onto a poster you made in another tool, like Canva or Adobe, you can actually get an image of your character in a very specific pose and then take it into another tool. So now I'm going to exit capture mode, and we can take a look at our GIF maker. So we also have the ability to make GIFs in a single click. So let's say I want a skeleton GIF, and maybe I want it to be making a presentation. So I can select my character, and I can look through the entire carousel here. I've got lots of different characters to choose from. And then I can choose an animation from my animation carousel down here, and then just click Download Transparent GIF. And this is a GIF with just the character and a transparent background. So again, you can layer it on top of your website, your newsletter, your presentation, and the character will stand on its own with a transparent background. Now on the far right, I have the opportunity to download different file formats. So I can, of course, download a video, I can download a GIF, and I can also download FBX files. These are 3D file formats that allow you to take your character into other 3D tools like Unreal, Unity, Maya, Blender. So if you wanted to take your character and turn it into a video game or put it into an AR or VR experience, you can actually take the FBX file and go do that in another tool. But what it allows you to do with Krikey is you can create your character, you can animate your character, you can make it talk, and do everything in our interface before you take it out to another tool. And that is a quick summary of what happens in the Krikey video editor. If you have any questions, please send us an email at support@krikey.com, and we are happy to answer your questions. The best way to get in and understand how to use AI animation tools is to come try it out, and you can try it for free at the Krikey video editor. So join our free trial, and you can start making your own animated videos in just seconds. When you're ready to start a new video, you can come to the left bar and click the Create button, which will take you back to the home screen where you can type a new text prompt, choose your character, and then click Create to make your next video. Thank you so much for watching this walkthrough. We hope you enjoy animating, and we look forward to seeing your videos when you post them. Thank you so much.